What is the most useless fact you know? The line between the two numbers in a fraction is called the vinculum. There's a fine line between the numerator and the denominator. How did I go my math-filled and trivia-filled life without ever knowing this? Beavers potty train their young, and sometimes after they move out of their parents' basement the parents will come downstream and help the youngster build his dam so that he can attract a mate. And they will even come years later sometimes. Good parents smile. It's nice when parents give a damn. Dumpster is a brand name, like Kleenex. And rollerblade and jacuzzi. Very successful advertising. The fruit fly Drosophila bifida is only a few millimeters in size but produces almost 6 centimeters long sperm. If we escalated it to human size, a 6-foot-tall man would have a sperm 120 feet long. God sign me up. What the? How the hell does that work? Liechtenstein is the world's largest producer of false teeth. A truly useless fact. I like this one. It's also one of only 2 double landlocked countries in the world. Tapirs have a prehensile penis similar to an arm, and it's longer than they are. It directly puts semen in the cervix. Well, that's efficient. The Stegosaurus is as ancient to the Triceratops as the Triceratops is to us. I'm like 40 useless facts into this thread and this one is the most mind-blowing by far. Putting time frames into perspective like that is just crazy to me. Have you heard about the dinosaur who has 500 teeth? There are 3 golf balls on the moon. Someone's got one hell of a swing. Brazil requires all customs documentation to be filled out in blue ink. Blue makes it easier to assume the document is not a photocopy. Elephants can move their skin to crush mosquitoes between their rolls of skin. Is it possible to learn this power? Till, there is a mosquito that can pierce through an elephant's skin. An ostrich's eye is bigger than his brain. Till I have something in common with an ostrich's. Horses can't throw up. If they do, they're close to death. Useless information for me. I have a horse girlfriend. She says horses are very fragile creatures and are always close to dying over something stupid. Correct. Except for the if they do part. They literally cannot throw up. Any sort of thing that would cause a human to vomit leads to colic in horses, which is second to old age as the main cause of death in horses. The barnacle is an animal with the biggest penis length to size ratio. Stop calling me a barnacle. The dot over the I and J is called a tittle. That name makes me titter. Keeping your rubber bands in the fridge will make them last longer. Well, you're not using them. Gasoline will last longer if you keep it in the fridge too. You can get arrested for whale fishing in Nebraska. Also Utah, as a matter of fact. Interesting, so many landlocked states have that kind of law. Ohio is the only US state that doesn't share any letters with the word mackerel. It's also produced more astronauts than anywhere else. So there is something about the state that makes people want to leave the fucking planet. Obsidian is so sharp that it can cut your DNA. Not so useless. The machine I used to prep slides of biological material for an electron microscope used broken glass as a blade. So what happens if you accidentally cut yourself with obsidian? Yoda and Miss Piggy were both voiced by the same person. Frank Oz fans rise up. A second is called a second because it is the second division, pars minuta secunda, of the hour by 60, the first division being a minute, pars minuta prima. A second is also measured as the duration of 9,192,631,770 periods of the radiation corresponding to the transition between the 2 hyperfine levels of the ground state of the cesium-133 atom at 0K. Nintendo and the Ottoman Empire existed at the same time. Eugene J. Weigel created the 8 to 5 step, you march 8 steps every 5 yards, for marching bands as the director of the Ohio State University Marching Band. As someone who loved marching band in high school, and did all 4 years, this takes the cake as a useless fact. This needs to be much higher, but thank you for this knowledge. Now I know who to hate for all the 8 and 8s I did in high school. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.